This is The Social here on talkSPORT 2 with me, Ollie Klink, Rory Jennings alongside me. Huge win for the Gunners in the North London derby and a really damaging defeat once again for Tottenham there. New manager, interim manager Igor Tudor says he still has enough time this season to make the changes that the club needs. Spurs lost that first match in charge 4-1 to Arsenal yesterday. Not the dream start, was it? He was asked after the game, Tudor, if the club are in a relegation battle.
That's not the right question. No, the question: can we become really a team? That's the question. That's the goal. About thinking relegation that don't bring you nothing to anybody. So that's the not goal. That's not the tema. Tema is what we need to do to become serious team. Like was the team today, the opponent today. That's the goal of me, the players of the club, because we are not that in this moment.
Rory, I'm not even going to ask you if Spurs are in a relegation battle. I'm going to ask you a different question. Are they going down?
Yes. Yeah, I actually think they are. I think they are the most likely of all of the teams to go. They are the least solid. They have the most unproven manager. They seem to have this injury crisis. They seem to also believe that the players that are injured are capable of getting them out of this injury crisis, and I don't believe that to be true. Like, they talk like they have prime Gareth Bale coming back from injury. They talk like they have prime Harry Kane coming back from injury. Let's face it, James Maddison in the trenches, I'm not convinced that's exactly what you need. So, yeah, I think that they are the most likely. We know two of the three sides that are going down. So then when you analyse the clubs that could be the third team to go, I think that it's probably between West Ham United and Tottenham, which is great from my perspective.
Forest in there?
Forest are in there, but I feel like Forest quality on the pitch
and new manager bounce
and home form.
And that's a really good point though about Spurs.
Yeah, home form will keep you up. So I think that Forest are going to be okay. I think it was an astute appointment in terms of the managerial sense, and then the players, like Elliot Anderson has played to a level that no Tottenham player has played to for 2 years. Like Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White, like these players should be good enough to keep Nottingham Forest up. And remember, Forest don't have to be magnificent. They just have to be better than Tottenham. Every week that goes by, it's another game out of the way. If you pick up a point and Tottenham don't, it's job done. And then it becomes a conversation around West Ham United. West Ham United, I believe, are a better 11 than Tottenham. I also believe that they have a better manager, don't they? In terms of this particular conversation, Igor Tudor, who knows? West Ham United have a better manager in this debate.
100%. And actually, strangely enough, I thought that the turning point for me when it came to thinking that Spurs were definitely in this fight, and bear in mind they were still about 9 points clear at this point, was when they lost to West Ham at home. And I covered that game for talkSPORT. You saw the toxicity in the stadium. Of course, they were still under Thomas Frank at that time, but you also realise, like you've just pointed out there, Rory, how poor this Spurs squad is. It's so bad.
But look at their form. Look at their form since the turn of the year.
They haven't won a game in 2026.
Exactly. So when people are going, if you juxtapose the Leeds United with Tottenham, you kind of go, there's only a couple of points between them. You're like, yeah, but look at the direction of travel. Look at what's been going on at the clubs. Look at the feeling around the club, and then look at the marquee players. Like Dominic Calvert-Lewin is going to inspire Leeds United. That South Stand at Ellen Road is going to inspire Leeds United. Like the equivalent of the Shelf at Tottenham now, they're furious with the club. They hate them.
As a Chelsea fan, and obviously you know the relationship with Spurs and how funny you would find it if they did go down, would you prefer them to go down or Arsenal win the league?
Would I prefer... I would stop Arsenal winning the league at all costs.
Oh, really?
Well, so Arsenal winning the league actually matters. Tottenham finishing 17th doesn't matter, does it?
No.
So if Tottenham have to survive in order to stop Arsenal making history, then yeah, I can live in a world where Tottenham don't go down. Look, I'd love Tottenham to go down, or at least 99% of me would love Tottenham to go down. There is obviously a negative to Tottenham going down. They're a big club. They're a big club with brilliant support. The games, the North London derby is a great game. Chelsea playing Tottenham is a great game. They are a great club in terms of what they bring to football. So, yes, I'd love them to go down, but there is 1% of me that will say the Premier League can already be quite trying. It's already a chore to watch quite a lot of football. When Brentford play Chelsea, it's a chore. When Brighton play Chelsea, it's a chore. When Bournemouth play Chelsea, it's a chore. When Tottenham play Chelsea, I've got a spring in my step.
Yeah.
I'm up for it. I'm buzzing.
Your point is that...
You're losing a behemoth club.
Yeah, you're swapping Spurs for a Middlesbrough or a Coventry, basically.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, well, fair enough. Huge win for Arsenal. It's funny because I came in this week and there's plenty of Arsenal fans in the talkSPORT office, as you know, and I was actually quite surprised at just how down they were after that draw with Wolves. I mean, even Harry Symeou, you know, we both know him. He's a positive Arsenal fan.
Glass half full, Harry.
Glass half full, Harry. Even he was saying we are now bottling it, and I feel like this win is against opposition that we've just, you know, said are so poor. It's quite almost difficult to look at it as a proper bounce back. But how do you see this title race at the moment? Do you agree with those Arsenal fans that actually they're going to get caught and they're bottling it again, and that mentality that they've seen over the last 4 seasons or so, 3 or 4 seasons, is still present and is going to catch them out again?
I think that was happening. That is exactly the situation that we were in. They were bottling it. They were in a terrible state. But then we have results, and certain results can inspire. I think that you can draw a line in the sand pre and post Anfield for Man City. Let's see what happens to Arsenal pre and post.
Is this a
the
line
Tottenham.
in the sand
Yeah,
result?
Well, maybe. The reason why I think it's a line in the sand isn't necessarily because of the opposition. We know that Tottenham are woeful, so beating Tottenham 4-1 doesn't really tell us too much about who you are, right? The reason why I think it could be a line in the sand isn't necessarily because they won the game. Like going and winning, scoring 4 goals at your biggest rival stadium, it matters. But the reason why it really matters is because of the nature. It's because of the way that it happened. It's because of the players that scored the goals. Victor Gyökeres putting in the best performance that he's had in an Arsenal shirt, scoring from 25 yards, an absolute pinger as well. He stunned it, didn't he? He's like a snooker shot, like wallop, right into the top corner. The way that he bullied that Archie Gray. Like he should have been doing that week in, week out.
So good.
Like, why wasn't he bullying the Wolverhampton Wanderers centre-halves?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, do you remember when they played Wolves at home?
Yeah.
He only touched the ball about 12 times or something. So the reason why I think Tottenham could be a line in the sand isn't necessarily because it's Tottenham, but that is a little bit of the equation. The reason is because Arteta made a bold move, a decisive and aggressive move, a progressive move. He went and he brought Eberechi Eze back into the fold. Brave. That worked. Gyökeres has scored 2, Eze scored 2. So let's see the impact that has on Arsenal when they play against us next week.
And actually, that's a really good point about Arteta, because I feel like for so long, obviously the criticism has been handbrake, too cautious. You're so right to point out that actually was a positive move and a brave move. But he needs to take that mentality not just into this run-in, but also into games like the one against Chelsea.
That's why I'm saying it's a line in the sand, because what it might do, it might not, by the way, it might not, but what it might do, it might mean that they play in an offensive way. Like, I don't know the answer to this, but you know, this constant double pivot, this constant Declan Rice is, in my opinion, the best midfielder in the league. He does the job in the way that Claude Makelele or N'Golo Kante used to, of 2 men. So when Chelsea were brilliant, we would have Claude Makelele doing that job, and then we would play 2 progressive midfielders. We would play Frank Lampard and Michael Essien, both attack-minded. In the way that when Man City, the best version of Man City ever, probably the best Premier League team ever, was the Centurions team. That Centurions team had Fernandinho, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. With the Chelsea example and the Man City example, why can't the Arsenal midfield be Declan Rice, Odegaard, Eze? Go and claim a title. Go and make it yours. The idea that you can defend your way to a league, I think is history has taught us that you can't. So either Mikel Arteta has seen something that no one else has seen, and he's capable of doing something that no one else in 33 years of history has ever done. Who won the league in 1995? Blackburn Rovers. Why did they win it? Alan Shearer. Who won the league in 1999? Manchester United. Why did they win it? Andy Cole. Who won the league in 2002? Arsenal. Why did they win it? Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Like, everyone has done it with a centre forward. If Mikel Arteta is going to be almost brilliant to be the first manager to do it without one, or without an attacking presence, I think it's unlikely. So maybe the goings on at White Hart Lane will change it.
And the other point is they've got a huge game in which he can show that off, and they need to go to the Etihad and they need to put in a performance to try and win that game. Because I just think if you go back earlier this season as well, they drew with Liverpool, who ended up going on that really poor run because they weren't brave enough.
Yeah, they haven't had that statement win.
No.
They haven't had it yet.
And
Like, they haven't beaten Liverpool, they haven't
beaten
beaten Man City, they haven't beaten Chelsea.
Yep.
They've done the double over Tottenham, but nobody's particularly impressed by that. I think that we're going to find out sooner than the game at the Etihad, though. They're playing like we're not a great team, but we could put a boot into Arsenal. We're capable, like in the league game, this season. Also, like I remember 2016. I remember going. We had a disaster. It's a season that we finished 10th. Arsenal could have won the league that year. We stopped them. People forget. We went there. We beat them 1-0. Diego Costa at the near post got across the front. Like, it was a filthy goal. Brilliant. Absolutely sensational finish. We stopped them winning the league that year. We certainly put a major dent in their aspirations. We could do that again. And we can actually do it by drawing. So let's see if Mikel Arteta suddenly goes, finally the penny has dropped, that the answer is Eze and not Mourinho.
Yeah. And I completely agree with that. What I will ask you is, right now then, do Arsenal get caught in this title race? Do they get caught?
I mean, they're kind of caught already. They've been caught. They've been caught. When you think about the gap that they had, didn't Man City lose 2 of their first 3 games of the season? They lost 2 of their first 3 games of the season. So if the fact that it is on a knife edge means that they've been caught already, will they be pit to the league? I'm inclined to say yes. When you think about who wins you a league, now I could be wrong here, right? But I feel like Rayan Cherki, Erling Haaland, Bernardo Silva, Antoine Semenyo are all players that go and claim a title.
City were really good at least in the first half an hour.
They go and they claim it, don't they?
Yeah.
Phil Foden goes and claims your title. With Arsenal, you're looking at I don't know, Declan Rice claiming you a title, Gabriel claiming you a title. It's different. Unless Victor Gyökeres scoring those goals, he's finding a bit of form now. Can Victor Gyökeres become a title-winning centre forward in the business end of the season? 10 games to go, and he suddenly turns into Alan Shearer. If he does, they're going to win the league.